Let's start with the financial. Girl, get investing. Saving is not the answer. I've always been an avid saver. I've been brought up to save. My family has always saved money to, whatever, go on a holiday, to buy a house, to go, have a good retirement, all of these things. And so all I did until the probably end of my 30s was save wherever I could. But life has a way of bringing up emergencies or situations where you suddenly need to get to your savings, and then you end up with very little. It was only in the last 5 years or so that I started investing, first into just an eToro investment account, and then also some an investment ISA, which is a tax-free account in the UK, that I actually saw some of my value increase, I suppose. And thinking about the years gone by that I haven't invested, even though investing wasn't as easy as it is now. Now you just have an app on your phone and you send some money and you put it towards something. That didn't used to be the case. Investing, I thought or felt when I was younger, especially in my 20s, was actually also expensive, and I never had any money to pay whatever 30 quid for a transaction to an investment account that was very complex and complicated for me to set up, maintain, and get advice for. So I didn't have anybody in my family who did that, and so it took me ages to get around to doing that. And the reason I actually started doing this is because of my partner. So that's number one. Then advice number two is on the topic of socializing or friendships or relationships, that kind of thing. I've always been an introvert, and I've never had an easy time making friends. Whenever I made friends, I was quite glad and happy, which also meant that sometimes I made the wrong friends. And I often probably extended myself a bit too much for friendships. I know now that some friendships are just not meant to last. And I know also that some friendships will go on no matter what you do. And even if you lose track of friends along the way, because life happens, people move away, people have families, maybe you have a misunderstanding. If you have really gotten to be good friends over time, there's always the opportunity to what is the word? To just get back in touch, say hi, how are you, and just bring the friendship back to life, really. That's what happened actually to me. I had a really good friend when I was 14. She moved away to the other side of Germany. We stayed in touch a little bit via pen paling, and then silence. And then when I was, during lockdown actually, so in my late 30s, I just reached out to her on an old email address that I found of hers, and she answered, and then we had a Skype call, and now we're in touch. And that took 15, 20 years? Crazy. But it's a possibility. And there are other friends where I thought, right, this friendship is just too much for me, really. And I tried to end it. It sounds like a bad relationship, but I guess in a way that that's what it looks or feels like sometimes. But the friend just kept hanging on to me and just not letting me go, and we kind of made it work. We're not really in close contact anymore. We're not even in the same country anymore, but we're in touch. And now I'm glad that this worked out the way it is. So that's social. Then one on health. As a 21-year-old, you feel like health is just there and it won't go away. It's just your it is just your prerequisite in life to have health. That's not the way it is. Health will go down. You will go through situations that are scary and that will really make you feel your own mortality. But you will come out more mindful of your body and your health and your own strength. And you'll be learning through this to manage your own capacity, I suppose, much better. So I had some pretty strong diagnoses in my life that when I got them made me feel pretty low, pretty desperate, and made me rethink some of my, I guess, goals in life. After then coming to terms with things and getting to know the new circumstances better, I just realized that some of these health constraints can also be opportunities. And over the last 10 years or so, I tried to make the best of things. I've actually improved my health as a consequence, because I just became more mindful of what I can and can't do, what I should and shouldn't put into myself. And yeah, I'm probably in a much better place now than I was when I was 21, which is a really weird thing to think about. Okay, that's health. Then what else did I want to do? Let's do professional. Education and professional. So I now know that I'm a lifelong learner. When I was 21, I didn't know that. I thought, right, okay, you've done your education years, now off to the work world. And I started a job. I moved to Frankfurt, actually, which was mind-blowing for somebody who came from a much smaller town. Spent my first night in Frankfurt, actually, in its infamous pleasure district in a hotel, and saw my first drug raid while I was there. So that was interesting and really a strong start to my stay in Frankfurt, which was going to be 4 years of my life. But I started working there as a legal secretary, and I had trained as a management assistant, and I thought that was going to be my career. I thought, right, okay, in Frankfurt at least there's loads of jobs like that. You're going to earn a good living, it's going to be fine, la-di-da. But then 4 years later, I realized, okay, it's just not using, I guess, my potential. I didn't realize at that point that I could call it that, but my skills and my yearning for knowledge in the right way. And then I went back to university. And then I went back to university again and again. And in the end, now I have 3 degrees. I've got a PhD. When I was 21, I would never have thought that this is possible. It actually took other people a lot of convincing of me that I should go and try all of that. So thank you very much for those people that saw that potential in me. And as a 21-year-old, it's way too early to give up on yourself and on your educative journey. There's so much on the horizon that can happen. and just be open to the opportunities.